Alright guys, so I'm going to demonstrate basically probably one of the best external rotator cuff exercises that I do. I like to do this with a dumbbell and laying on my side lying like this. I prefer this over the cable, although standing cable works. I just find here you have complete isolation and you can maximize stabilization with that being said. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to explain it afterwards, but I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate this here, okay? As you can see, I'm getting full rotation right here. So the dumbbell comes to the belly, the belly button, that's maximal internal rotation, and then all the way out to the top, right? Also preserving a 90-degree angle with the elbow. So we don't want to be like this, and we don't want to be out here. We want to make sure it's roughly a 90-degree angle from the humerus to the radius and ulnar bones, or the forearm and the upper arm bone, or 90-degree angle. That maximizes the rotational resistance, and it just maximizes the moment in this particular exercise. I'm already feeling it. Okay, so let me go ahead and do let me do an explanation. Alright guys, so for this exercise, I'll demonstrate it again, but basically the reason why I like this exercise is because the only thing that I'm could probably still learn a little more on is having this towel rolled up under the armpit. That's kind of an old trick that was just over the years of learned. It's commonly used in physical therapy. The reason for that, the explanation that I was told, that was relayed, was that it helps to optimize the mechanical advantage, or just kind of it optimizes the angle to effectively train the rotator cuff muscle itself. So, but I will tell you, just from my personal experience, I notice a big difference when I have the towel. If I don't have the towel, it feels like I'm just kind of doing this. When I have the towel, it allows me to really kind of get a nice full range of motion, internal and external rotation. Now, of course, a person's history with having injuries could negatively impact the range of motion. So I would say pain-free range of motion. My camera just fell over. I would say pain-free range of motion is really kind of the conservative, advice. But so the key elements are maintaining a 90-degree angle from here to here. Now, in this exercise trains the Infraspinatus and the Teres minor. Those are two little muscles that they're basically the size of both of your fingers together. The one would be the Infraspinatus and Teres minor, and they're like the size of your finger, and they sit right on your scapula, and they attach on the humeral head, and they externally rotate. They don't just move your arm that way. What happens is they stabilize against more of the internal rotator muscles, the overpowering major muscle groups like your pec major and the infamous and notorious pec minor, which really kind of pulls that shoulder forward into protraction, kind of closes off, just kind of closes the spaces that tendons and nerves are supposed to pass through. So this exercise helps with that. It's kind of a cure-all exercise in that, now remember, I'm not giving medical advice. This is my personal experience and my opinion. But basically, it's kind of a cure-all in a sense that it tends to be beneficial regardless of what the shoulder issue or ailment may be. So it's always a good idea to strengthen those muscles, because just kind of human nature, we tend to be more, the way gravity pulls us from an anatomical point of view, when we're upright, it pulls us kind of forward. So that's why you see the common forward head and forward shoulder, rounded shoulders, rounded head appearance, and it's common. So when we do this exercise, that tends to correct that common problem. So that's what I'm saying, is that it tends to be beneficial for the shoulder regardless of the ailment. But most cases, or many cases I should say, it tends to kind of offer relief and helps to improve the balance between the internal rotators and then those external rotators. So anyhow, that's all I got for you guys. If I missed anything, I'll just go ahead and add it right after this little bonus video coverage. But feel free to leave comments below. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But thank you for taking the time. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, but I just felt the need that I couldn't really come up with the world's best external rotator exercise, so I figure I'm going to give you my best exercise. And I know that's kind of, a lot of people will say that's kind of elementary or basic rudimentary exercise, but when it's done properly, it's very effective. And let me demonstrate it. Let me just demonstrate while I explanate. That's not a word, but while I explain. So, again, I like to roll the towel up. I kind of semi-roll it up because, you know, I feel like if it's all the way rolled up, it's just too high. So you've got to just kind of, you know, that would be my advice, is to do that. If you don't have a towel, you can do this exercise without the towel. It's fine. It's better something than nothing, but I prefer the towel. I feel like it totally optimizes the exercise. Now, what I'm focusing on here is, once again, the right angle preservation from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist. And I turn out like this. And I try and straighten out my body so I can really kind of have good posture as I do this, and I can really target that infraspinatus and teres minor as they externally rotate right there. And another thing people make mistakes of doing is this. See that? They'll bend their wrist back. You want to keep your wrist locked, because if your wrist remains straight, now you're forcing those weaker, neglected muscles, the infraspinatus and teres minor, to actually do their job. They're going to get better. So be wary, be aware that you don't want to, you know, cheat it. That's natural compensation. That's a natural compensation. We call it the cheating bod, or the cheating body. The body tends to want to cheat because it wants to accomplish the task at any cost. But we have to intervene with intellect, and this is intellect. So you want to keep that wrist nice and straight and make that rotator cuff do the work, those external rotator cuff muscles. Okay? Just like this. And I like to have my hand like this, or I'll have it like this, or you can have a pad under here. What I don't want to see is this. I wouldn't want to see that because you're putting strain in your neck. So I like to cradle the head like it's on a pillow and do this exercise. Now, since the rotator cuff is mainly designed for stability, you want to train it for endurance. So the weight range is anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds, I think, would be optimal. But if less is needed, like 1 pound, that would work, or even just the weight of your arm. You could do it with a closed fist. As you get stronger, you can extend your fingers out. That's a way to increase resistance by increasing the lever arm. Then you could progress to maybe a 1 pound weight. I wouldn't go heavy in this exercise because those muscles are not really designed for heavy lifting. They're designed to stabilize. So you want to train them specifically for the manner of their function, which is stabilization. I like to stack 3 to 4 sets of 10 reps with like a 10-second rest period. I find that very effective. So I'll do my 10 reps, and then I'll rest for like maybe 10 seconds, and then I'll go again. And it's amazing. The burn will occur earlier in the set, each set. So in the second set, like on the first set, you might not even feel a burn. On the second set, you might feel it at rep number 8. On the third set, you might feel it at rep number 6, and so on, okay? So anyhow, thank you guys for watching, and tune in next time.